Do you ever have a day where the truth don't ask for permission? It just walks right in, kicks its shoes off, and sits itself down like it pays rent? Well, welcome to Tuesday. This is the day we stop sugarcoating, stop dancing around it, stop pretending the easy answer is always the right one. Because sometimes the truth you need is the one that rubs your nerves raw for a minute, but it frees you for the rest of the week. Okay. So if you came for comfort, you might have been walking right into the wrong room. But if you came for clarity, you're exactly where you should be. Welcome back. It's Truth Teller Tuesday. The truth you needed, not the one you wanted. Now, there is something about a Tuesday morning that hits a little different. Monday comes in loud and messy. Everybody expects chaos on Monday. But Tuesday is the day that sneaks up behind you with the quiet truths. Now, the ones you've been avoiding all week, right? The ones you've been putting off and the ones that whisper instead of shout. And there's a funny thing about whispered truth. Sometimes it lands harder than anything else. It's the stuff that finally gets your attention, not because it's dramatic, but because it's honest. So, welcome in, everybody. Welcome to Truth Teller Tuesday, where we don't run from the hard conversations and we don't hide from the mirror just because we're scared of what it might show us. This is the space where we breathe, we unpack, we challenge ourselves a little, and hopefully by the time this hour is over, we walk out with a little more clarity than we had when we walked in. Now, if you're new here, I'm B, Boss B, and this show right here is where real life, it meets real talk. Every episode is a little slice of humanity. The messy parts, the funny parts, the frustrating parts, the parts we learn from, and the parts we hide from. It's also the parts that we finally decide to face. So if you've been rocking with me for a little while, you already know Tuesdays are when the truth gets a little louder. Not because we want it to, okay, but because we need it to. Now, let me be real with y'all for a minute. Today did not start cute. I woke up to a morning that tried to test my patience before I even had the chance to pour my first cup of coffee. That seems to be a norm here lately, but something froze, something glitched, something didn't load. It's not up there, my little loading mark. Something else made me question whether I should just crawl back into bed and try again tomorrow. But here's the thing about the truth. It doesn't care if you're ready. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if your patience is thin or your schedule is tight. The truth shows up anyway. And the older I get, the more I realize that the days that try you are often the ones that prepare you. So when I talk about the truth you need, not the one you wanted, I'm talking about the truth that doesn't flatter us. It grows us. Okay? Nothing bad here. The truth that doesn't really sugarcoat anything, though, but it does sharpen us, because that's what we do here in the iron sharpening iron universe. The truth that doesn't make us uncomfortable. Okay? No, I'm wrong. The truth that doesn't make us comfortable. It makes us capable. Okay? That's the energy we're talking about today, and that's what we're going to walk with. Because here's the truth of it. Most of the problems that keep us stuck aren't the big dramatic explosions. It's the small stuff we keep putting off. The conversations we don't want to have, the habits we don't want to break, the boundaries that you're scared to set. And it's the feelings that we try to outrun. Tuesday has a funny way of shining a light on those things, okay? Not harshly, not with judgment, but with that gentle nudge that says, hey, you ready? Let's deal with this. I'm not. We never are we? So we're going to talk about what today might bring. After the morning that I've had, I'll have to tell you my story. We're just going to unpack everything. Okay. We're going to laugh about the silly parts and sit with the heavy parts and call out the parts we've been avoiding. And just so y'all know, this is a safe space. We don't shame anybody over here. We don't drag anybody. We don't tear anybody down. We just tell the truth, hold the mirror steady, and, keep it human. So settle in, grab your drink, and get comfortable. We've got a full show today. Stories, letters, answers, life lessons, and maybe even a moment or two where the truth stings just enough to wake something up inside you, because that's all it's meant to do, okay? Trust me, the sting fades and the clarity, it stays. Okay, let's get into this. First off, we're going to start with one of my stories, because I can't be real with y'all if I don't have a story, right? And I can't have a story and not share it, right? Let's see who we have. Oh, no, we have that problem again. I don't know why that does that. Anyway, not that you can see what I'm talking about. Before we dive into this story, let me get a drink. Promise it's not alcohol. I don't like that. I want to sit on something for just a second, because Truth Teller Tuesday, okay? It isn't about drama for the sake of drama. It's about that real world moment we've all lived through, where life taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, this thing you've been ignoring, yeah, it's time. And it's wild how those moments never show up on schedule. They don't come when, we're well rested, fully hydrated, and emotionally prepared. They pop up when you're already juggling too much, when your patience is thin, when your nerves are shot, and when the last thing you feel like doing is being honest with yourself. That's the thing about truth. It doesn't need your permission. And it doesn't wait until you're in the mood. It just shows up. Everybody in here knows exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Sometimes the truth comes through a person. Sometimes it comes through a mistake. Sometimes it even comes through something you weren't ready to lose, okay? Sometimes it comes through a moment that stops you mid-stride. And sometimes, let's be real, y'all, it comes through the thing we swore we wouldn't need to deal with today. But the truth has a way of putting itself right in front of you and saying, all right, now what? And today's story, this one is about the exact kind of truth, the kind that doesn't knock politely, okay? The kind that walks right in, makes you take a breath, and you didn't plan to take that breath. So, of course, it's labored, scary. We're moving right into a story that's not just petty, not just funny, not just wild, but one of those, okay, I needed that even if I didn't like how it landed moments, okay? The kind that leaves you blinking, frustrated, enlightened, and strangely grateful all at once. And it's where the universe doesn't care that you weren't in the mood. It delivered the message anyway. So buckle up, lean in, and get ready, because today's Truth Teller Tuesday story, it's the truth you didn't ask for, but it's the truth you needed, or I needed. Okay, so, when people talk about the truth, they say it like it's clean, shiny thing, like once you hear it, everything suddenly makes sense and the clouds part and you just magically glide through the rest of your day. But the real truth is the kind that actually changes your life. Oh, that truth is so messy. That truth shows up with dirt under its nails. That truth doesn't pat you on the back. It grabs you by the shoulders and turns you towards the thing you've been avoiding. And that's exactly what happened to me this morning. I didn't wake up looking for a lesson. I woke up looking for caffeine and quiet. It's Tuesday. Monday was hell, y'all. I woke up looking to ease into my day, not wrestle with it, right? But life had its own plans. Something glitched, something froze, something disappeared. And suddenly, before the sun was even up, I found myself face to face with one of those truths that I already knew deep down, but definitely didn't want today. I don't have the patience for things that feel out of my control. I can run a production, build a universe, run multiple channels at once, troubleshoot in real time, keep 100 plates spinning, right? But the second something I've poured myself, oh my God, into slips out of sight, even for a moment, that old panic just tries to rise up. Hi, Patty, friend. Good to see you, babe. I'm so happy you're here. I know you had one of these mornings. We all do, right? So the truth is, it's not about, oh my gosh, I didn't have patience. I can do all these things, but the truth is, it's not about the file. It's not about the app glitching. It's about not even about the technology, about what technology does. It's about what it hits inside me. Because when something you've worked your heart into suddenly disappears, even for a minute, it taps on every old wound you've ever carried about being dropped, right? Being ignored, being overlooked, being left to clean up the mess alone. And before you know it, you're not reacting to the glitch, you're reacting to every version of that you had to rebuild something by yourself. It's just, that's the truth I didn't want today, but the truth I needed. I don't quit. I don't fold. Not anymore. I might get loud. I might get frustrated. My voice might go up an octave, but I don't walk away. I don't let the moment win. I stay in the fight. And I know you guys don't know anything about what I'm talking about, but I'm getting to it, I swear. It was a file. Okay. I was working on in Canva yesterday for like 6 hours straight because I am over here daily trying to fix every wrong thing there ever could have been. Hi, oh so beautiful. How are you, honey? Good to see you, sweetie. Thank you for being here. But okay, so I'm working in Canva, and this has got to be after I got my monetization back. Let me scoot back there. I love you, honey. I do. I'm so glad to see you. I really need to get you on my show. And if you can't do the Wednesday evening, honey, I'll bring you up here. You just let me know. I'm doing really good. I really am. I've got everything back in order on my channel, and things are looking up. And especially for the universe, because we're all lifting up, right? It's been good. It's been much better with my memberships back and all that stuff. And yes, that was a shameless plug, but really, there was no shame there. That's just me, boss B. Okay, so the Canva, when I got my monetization back, okay, I looked at my brand connect. Next year you're ready. You betcha. You betcha. Okay, yeah. Well, I have to do it more than once then. Next year you're ready. This time will be perfect for you. See, I may have to get you up here more than once. Just saying. I love you, girl. You know I do. Okay. And so when I opened up my Brand Connect, I noticed that everything had changed, because I just went through this whole sweep. I lost a whole bunch of subs. I'm under 6,000. Not to worry. It was a clean sweep. That's when they removed all the bots, right? Yeah, awesome. Oh, that's awesome. See, now be careful. I'll hold you to it because I love you. Okay. Now, so it says on my Brand Connect, thank you, Patty. That's awesome. Thank you so much. So, on my Brand Connect, it says that I do documentaries. Well, I've done a couple, but I didn't really know that they were that decent. And I've actually had one that I did months and months ago, like at the beginning, that still is moving. So I thought, okay, why not? That's how I can keep my music and everything, right? Because the music is the problem. You guys, if you're trying to base your channels around music, don't do that. You can use music, you can have it in intermixed, but don't try and base it on that, because that's where I got into trouble the first time. Anyway, that's my big tip for the day. So I just finished, and I had to do my girl Janice. I'm just going to put it out there. I have a documentary about Janis Joplin coming out soon. Okay, like within the next day or two. It's like a little over 20 minutes. It's the best work I've ever done, and I am so very proud of it. It should be finished today, I hope. Thank God, because my point here is I thought I lost it. I spent all that time yesterday. I was so happy because last night it was almost done. I was ready to go to bed thinking, okay, good. And then it glitched on me. I had a problem with the AI voice. Oh my gosh. So I deleted it. I was mad. I just deleted that crap. But you know what? I'm sorry. I love my chat GBT because it gets me out of some messes. And I found out how to go and find the trash in Canva, and I found it, and it was just a website glitch. It came back, and I still have it, the whole thing. I just have to do a few more tweaks and it's done. I'm so happy. Oh my gosh. And listen, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that moment would have ruined my whole day. Okay. Back then, I didn't know how to separate the trigger from the truth. I didn't know how to pause long enough to see what the moment was really showing me. And it was another one of those moments where God says, wait, slow down. It's almost perfect, but you're too tired. Today I realized something that I didn't want to say out loud, and I am not who I used to be. Okay. That is the biggest part of it. I don't crumble. I don't collapse. I regroup. And I found it, and it's still there, and it'll be out soon. And that's a truth that doesn't show up just with celebration. Okay. It's a truth that shows up with irritation and inconvenience, and through the mornings where everything feels like it's trying you. The truth you want is the one that feels comforting. The truth that you need is the one that feels uncomfortable but frees you later. Okay. I feel so much better today. Last night, I'm not kidding you. I was so mad I cried myself to sleep over that one. And I was just, I was frustrated because yesterday was a day, and then for it to top it off with that, right? But here's another honesty. Sometimes the truth is that we keep expecting the world to go easy on us when we've already proven that we can survive the hard parts. Maybe life stopped going soft on us because it knows we don't need soft anymore. Maybe the universe is giving you the tougher lessons, not because you're unlucky, but because you're capable. So glad you like computer stuff. I don't want to do it, but I love reaping, right? Reaping the benefit of your hard work. Hey, you go right ahead, baby girl, because I'm allowing that. Okay. For you, my dear, you can have all of it. That's how much I love you, lady. Oh, so yeah. Today tried me already. It's just afternoon, right? My time. But it also reminded me that I've built skills, patience, resilience, and reflexes I didn't even know I had. It reminded me that even when I'm irritated, even when I'm tired, even when I'm stretched thin, I still show up. I still finish what I start, and I still create. And I'm creating what YouTube is happy with about now, And maybe that's the truth someone out there needs today. That you're stronger than the thing trying to frustrate you. that you're more capable than the moment trying to break you, and that the truth you didn't want, it might just be the truth that proves how far you've come. And it really kind of was for me, seriously, because wow, I mean, I needed that, obviously. I needed that clarity moment. And it glitched out on me, I think, for a reason. I don't care. You can tell me whatever you want to, but I believe in signs. I believe in signs. Now, let's take a breath with me because we're going to get to our next segment. And I'm not ashamed to say that my voice is pretty shot here this week. So I've made some little videos for our letters today. I hope y'all don't mind. I tried to make sure that the AI voiceover that I used was not mechanical all that much. I mean, it's AI, so it might be a little bit, forgive me, but we are going to do it that way. When people talk about the truth, they say it like it's this clean, shiny thing. Like once you hear it, everything suddenly makes sense and the clouds part and you just magically glide through the rest of your day. That's not the way it happens. You know that. We all know that, right? Now that we've walked through that, just a little, I guess, truth detour of mine. Let's go ahead and ease our way back into a different kind of honesty. This is the kind that shows up in other people's life choices, because if there's one thing I've learned doing this show, it's that folks will absolutely hand you a situation that makes you stop, blink twice, lean back in your chair and go, "Oh, honey, bless your heart." And that's the beauty of this segment. Gosh, I sounded like my mother just then. I'm so sorry. It still gets me. That's the beauty of this segment, though. It's not mean. It's not cruel. It's not about dragging anybody. Okay. Don't ever get that wrong. It's about taking those moments where somebody's actions are just a little sideways, a little questionable, a little, you really thought that was a good idea. And, wrapping it up with humor, compassion, and a tiny bit of Southern side eye, me, maybe over my glasses. You know how I do that. Because let's be real, we've all had a bless your heart moment, okay? Some of us have had several. Some of us are having one today. And some of us have built whole personalities around them. This girl. But what I love about this part of the show is that these letters come from real people, okay? Living real lives, handling real messes. And they show up here looking for clarity, for comfort, or sometimes just a witness. And y'all, I'm always happy to be that witness. So as we shift gears, take a breath, settle in, and get ready. Today's bless your heart letter. Let's just say somebody out there made a choice, and now they're trying to figure out how to live with the ripple effects of that choice. And we're about to walk through it together with honesty and humor, and with that, hey, special B style blend of kindness, and now you know better. All right. All right. Give me a second. I'm going to try and get this one here. Here we go.
Dear B, I need you to help me understand if I'm the crazy one here, because I'm starting to think I'm living in an alternate universe where common sense is optional. So, my neighbor, let's call her Sharon, because that's the most Sharon behavior I've ever seen, decided last week that she was going to become a professional dog trainer. Now B, Sharon does not own a dog. Sharon has never had a dog. Sharon is actually terrified of dogs. But she watched 2 TikTok videos and suddenly decided this is her calling. Fast forward to 3 days ago, she knocks on my door and asks if she can borrow my dog for practice. I should have said no right then, but she caught me off guard, and my dog is friendly with everyone, so I let her take him into her backyard for 15 minutes. B, why did I do that? Because when she brought him back, she had somehow managed to teach my dog absolutely nothing except how to ignore every command he's known since puppyhood. He won't sit, won't stay, won't come, nothing. It's like she wiped his whole little brain clean. Then yesterday she brings me a handwritten invoice. An invoice for training services rendered. She charged me $75 for ruining my dog. I just stared at her like she'd lost her damn mind. She said she invested emotional energy and that energetic exchange is important. I told her the only energy she exchanged was turning my dog into a confused toddler. So now the question is, do I pay this woman to keep the peace, or do I let her live with the reality that she is delusional and not a professional anything? Signed, trying not to lose it.
Oh, honey, so am I. Yeah, okay. Let's come on, sit right here next to me because I can feel your blood pressure from here. And let me just go ahead and say this before saying anything else. You're not crazy. You're not overreacting. You're not really imagining things, right? What you experienced was a full on live action case of somebody confusing confidence with competence and then trying to hand you the bill for their delusion. Yeah, that's not your burden. That's not your invoice, and that is definitely not your lesson to learn. Yes, a manipulative, selfish person who is used to getting what she wants. You are so right about that, honey. Why am I lagging? That's crazy. Am I still lagging? I'm still lagging. That's silly. Okay, let me close some things off here because for some reason I'm lagging. Go away. Thank you. Okay, we're good. Anyway. Yeah. Let's break this one down a little bit because there are layers to this situation and every single one of them deserves its own moment. First of all, your neighbor, Sharon. Okay, first, let me tell y'all this before I get into this. Yes, I changed the name. Look, y'all, when this thing with Karen became popular, my mother, Karen, had just passed away. So I'm gonna put it right. I'm gonna put it out there. And the lady writing this letter, I've told her already. There's no foul, no harm here. Okay, I just can't do it. My mother will slap me in the back of the head from wherever she's at because I will feel that stuff. I know there's people out there that know how my mother was. I mean, she was me. Hello. All right. So your neighbor Sharon woke up one morning, watched 2 TikTok videos, and decided she was the Caesar Milan of the cul-de-sac. That right there is the first red flag. I don't care what anybody says. If you don't own a dog, don't know a dog, and jump when a dog sneezes, you have no business building a career around training ones. That is like saying, I watched one episode of Grey's Anatomy and now I'm ready to open a cardiology clinic. Absolutely not. I know my lane. Yeah. Second, okay. She asked to borrow your dog for practice. That should have been your sign right there that this situation was headed straight for bless your heart zone. Okay. You don't borrow somebody's dog like they're borrowing a cup of sugar. A dog is a whole living, breathing, thinking creature with a personality, routines, habits, and a spirit that absolutely did not ask to be involved in Sharon's grand delusions. And then the cherry on this Sunday, she brings that dog back to you with less sense than he had when he left. She didn't train him, she confused him. She didn't train him, okay? She didn't teach him commands. She erased the ones he had. How does somebody do that? In an afternoon, your dog walked into her yard knowing exactly who he was and came out wondering if his name was even still his. That alone is enough to make anybody's eye twitch, right? But oh no, Sharon wasn't done. She had one more act left in this little community theater production. She wrote you an invoice, a handwritten bill for $75. $75 for what exactly? For spiritual confusion, for emotional disruption, for whatever she did that made that dog forget every skill he ever learned. If anything, she owes you $75 for dog rehabilitation, okay? And maybe another 20 for the emotional support you needed after that interaction. Now, let's talk about the part where you're really struggling, okay? The peacekeeping. Because I know how this goes. You want to be a good neighbor. I get it. You want to avoid awkwardness. You want to keep the community energy smooth, and that is noble. It is. Truly. But here's the truth you didn't want to absolutely needed today. Keeping the peace should never require paying for someone else's bad choices. Okay? You don't owe Sharon a single penny. Not one, not half, not let me throw her something so she feels appreciated. Don't throw her a bone. Yes, I said it. Absolutely not. Because if you pay her now, you're setting the tone for what she thinks she's entitled to going forward. And someone with this much misplaced confidence, honey, she will absolutely run with it. Next thing you know, she'll be invoicing you for energetic contributions every time she waves at your house. Okay? No. And now I know she probably said that mess with full sincerity. I know she probably looked you straight in the eyes with unearned authority and spiritual vocabulary. But the fact that she called emotional energy an exchange when she didn't exchange anything except stress tells me everything I need to know. So here's what you do. I wonder if she was testing the waters just to see if she could get away with it. If she got paid, then there you go. That's what I'm thinking too. Yep. Yep. Her scam worked. You're right. That's what I was thinking too. I'm glad you said it out loud. Now I feel twice as good. You hand that invoice right back to her, honey. Okay, nicely, calmly, without attitude, just pure clarity. You just say the four most powerful words in the English language. I won't be paying. No, thank you. That works. You do not explain. Because if you start explaining, she'll start defending, and then you're in a conversation she did not earn. You protect your dog. Don't let her borrow the dog again. Come on. That wasn't thinking very straight there. Not dragging you through this, but you know this already, okay? Protect your dog. And if she gets offended, that's not your responsibility. That's not your weight. That's not your emotional energy exchange. But because the reality is she created a mess, delivered the mess back to your house, and then tried to charge you for it. That's not how life works. Okay. Your peace is not purchased through enabling someone else's fantasy. Your kindness does not mean you accept nonsense, and your boundaries do not require apologies. Okay. Tell Sharon, bless your heart, hand her that paper back, and let her work out the rest with the TikTok videos that convinced her she could do this in the first place. Okay? Take a deep breath. Because that was a big one. Oh, honey. Now we got to shift gears, and I don't know if I can after that mess. Let me tell you, take a deep breath, because let's see, it like how you deal with solicitors, just a calm but firm no thank you, not interested, door closed, no room for discussion. Amen, sis. I'm serious. Yeah, I get to the point where I don't even open the door anymore. I just don't want to repeat myself. And the fact that they totally read the sign that I have out in front of my door. See, I had this no soliciting sign on my door. Okay. And right beside it, there's this one that says, maybe I shouldn't tell this, but I'm going to anyway because I already started the story. But yeah. No soliciting. We're tired of hiding the bodies. Yes, that's what it says in front of my door. It's because they don't care, or they have to know how to read, y'all. They got papers, they got stuff in their hands. They're trying to hand you. They have to learn how to read, right? And when it says no soliciting, that really means no soliciting, but they don't care. They just don't care. Anyway. All right. My goodness. That was kind of a crazy one there. But anyway, let's take a breath together, because this one's going to be the gravel road letter. And, we step off the paved road of humor and head down into the quieter places. The places where the laughter softens, the echo changes, and the truth hits with just a little bit deeper. That's the gravel road. It's not the polished lane where everything looks put together. It's not the easy stretch where everything makes sense. The gravel road is where real life crunches under your feet. It's where you feel every step. It's where you hear your thoughts louder because the world gets a little quieter. It's also the part of the journey where we stop pretending everything's fine and finally tell the truth about what's heavy, what's unresolved, what's been sitting on our chest longer than we wanted to admit. Every show, this moment right here is where we slow down. Not to get sad, but to get honest, because not every struggle gets wrapped in humor. Not every problem can be softened with a joke. Some things just need space and attention and a little courage to say out loud. Thank you. Awesome, Flavor. Thank you so much. So as we step into this gravel road together, okay, I want you to let the noise fade out. Let the distractions fall away. Let yourself be still for a moment, because the letter that we're about to read, or rather the video I'm going to show you with the letter, sorry, I have to ban and delete rude people. Forgive me. Thank you. It's not like he was really giving money anyway. So I don't want your money. If you're going to say things like that, I don't want your money. Oh, I hate people like that. I am not a racist. There is no racist in this place. Okay. Go away. This is about feeling good, not about feeling bad. And you're trying to make me feel bad. And guess what? It didn't work. So now, there's your truth. Yeah. Yeah. Right. You know what? That don't bother me none, because I know I got people in here that love me. I don't need that mess. Do not need it, y'all. All right. So, pardon me. I got chapstick on and it's just too thick. All right. So, man, I hate it when people do things like that. Okay, so as we step onto the gravel road together, I want you to let the noise fade out. Okay, let the distractions fall away. This is the perfect part for this. Let yourself be still for a moment, because the letter that we're about to read, it's carrying weight. It's carrying heart. It's carrying something somebody out there hasn't known how to stay or to say to anyone else yet. And we're going to walk with it. and walk with them. And there's no judgment, no rushing, just truth, compassion, and the kind of clarity that only comes from taking this path one step at a time. All right. I'm going to open this letter because I need this moment to clear my head from that really rude person. I hate people like that. I'm sorry. I don't like that word either. I can't believe I just used it, but I don't like people like that. Here's the letter. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Here's your letter. Gravel rope.
Dear B, I never thought I'd be writing into a show like this, but I don't have anyone in my life I can say this to without feeling like a burden. So here I am, hoping maybe you can help me make sense of what I'm feeling. I've spent the last few years taking care of everyone around me, my kids, my parents, my partner, my job, even friends who only come around when they need something. And somewhere along the way, I didn't just lose track of myself. I think I forgot how to even be myself. I don't know what I enjoy anymore. I don't know what gives me peace anymore. I don't know what it feels like to not be waiting for the next responsibility, the next crisis, the next, can you help me real quick? And here's the part one haven't told anyone. I'm tired, B. Not sleepy, soul tired. Like the kind of tired that sits in your bones and doesn't seem to go away, even after a full night's rest. The kind of tired that makes you look at your life and wonder where you went. I used to be fun. I used to laugh. I used to have hobbies, dreams, plans, things that felt like mine. Now it feels like my whole world is built around being useful to other people. And I keep telling myself it's temporary, but the truth is, I don't know if I remember how to choose myself anymore without feeling selfish or guilty for it. I know people depend on me, and I don't want to let anyone down. But I'm starting to realize I'm disappearing in the process. And I don't know how to climb out of this without disappointing someone. How do I find myself again when I feel like there's nothing left? Signed, Fading in the Background.
Oh my goodness. Sweetheart, let's talk about this. Sit with me for a moment, because the very first thing I want you to hear before the advice, before the clarity, before the step forward is this. First, you are not alone. Not in this feeling, this exhaustion, and definitely not in this quiet ache of wondering when you disappeared from your own life. Now, what you're describing, that soul tired, that bone deep heaviness, that feeling of being the glue for everybody else while slowly coming undone yourself, that is something so many people carry silently. And the silence makes it feel heavier. The silence makes it feel shameful. And the silence, it really makes it feel like you're the problem. When the truth is, you have been the solution for everyone around you for far too long. Let's tell the truth, okay? The truth that you need, not the truth that you've been settling for. You didn't lose yourself overnight. You didn't stop being you. What happened was slow, subtle, and almost invisible. Almost completely invisible. You were needed. You were needed and needed and needed and needed again. And every time someone needed something, you said yes because you love them, because you're reliable, you're strong. You've always been the one who could hold it together. But here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Being strong, why is it doing this again? I'm going to take the ticker off for right now, see if that'll stop it. So being strong all the time is its own kind of exhaustion. Okay. People forget the strong ones get tired. The dependable ones need rest. And they really forget the ones who always show up, sometimes need someone to show up for them. And the reason you feel like you've disappeared is because you've been living in response mode, reacting to everybody's needs instead of having even a moment to listen to your own. That's not failure, okay? That's overload. Let me say that again so it lands. You're not failing, you're overloaded. You are so overloaded. And overloaded doesn't mean weak, it means human. I will never ever stop saying that. It means you're human. Now, let's talk about that guilt you mentioned because, wow, that guilt is loud. That guilt is manipulative. That guilt will convince you that taking care of yourself somehow hurts the people you rely on or rely on you. But here's the truth you didn't want but absolutely needed today. Every system you support collapses when you collapse. Self-care is not selfish. It is structural integrity. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Cliche, yes, it is, but it's true. You cannot give from a depleted heart. You cannot carry everyone else while losing yourself on the inside. At some point, being everything for everyone becomes the slowest, quietest form of disappearing. And sweetheart, you don't deserve to disappear. So here's where we start, okay? Not with fixing everything overnight. And I'm going to say it again. I am not an expert. I just have lived a life. And we're not going to do this overnight. This is not with drastic changes, not with burning your life down to find a new one. That's not realistic and it's not sustainable. We start small, gentle, intentional, okay? Reintroduce yourself to yourself. It's easy. Hi, I'm here. Cool. I'm glad. Not with pressure, not with a list of shoulds, not with expectations, okay? Ask quietly, what do I miss? What used to make me feel like me? What gives me a sense of peace instead of duty? Take that answer seriously, even if it's something tiny, like music, a walk, a book, a hobby you haven't touched in years. A moment alone in the morning before anyone else wakes up. Those tiny threads are your way back to yourself. Create one boundary, just one little bitty boundary, not 10, okay? Not a whole emotional renovation, just one small boundary that protects 5 or 10 minutes of your day. Something you refuse to surrender unless the world is literally on fire. I take an hour a day right here with you. That's my boundary. Everybody in the rest of the house knows this is my moment to find my clarity too, because you find clarity through other people. I mean, yeah, God's here to help you. You have friends to help you. You have Patty friends to be there. And you know what? That is the most amazing thing. But they can't help you if you can't help yourself. And that's where it's got to start. You can't help anybody if you can't help yourself. Pardon me, I'm losing my voice. I'm telling you. I know Ozzy in there just screaming happy, happy, happy. Now, a boundary isn't a wall, okay? Remember that. It's a door. Mine is closed. And that's okay too. My husband, my child that lives with me, her partner that lives with us, they all know my boundary. My dogs, unfortunately, don't. That's why you hear them and their creepy, crazy little noises all the time, but still. I have a door. I can close it. I can open it. That's my boundary. And it doesn't have to be a door. It just has to be a thought. If you can walk outside on your front porch and stand there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that's all you need. That's all most people need. I take an hour because I want my time to help your time. So Next, let yourself rest. Okay, not collapse, not quit. Rest. Rest. You know you need it. Your body has been telling you for months. And let me tell you, the reason I know this is because my body has been telling me for months. Okay. The world has convinced us we need to earn rest, or we don't need to earn rest. Okay. Like it's some kind of luxury or a reward. No, rest is maintenance, rest is fuel and medicine. Recuperative sleep. That term was made for a reason. It's because it's truth, right? And you don't have to justify needing it. Tell one person the truth. One person, just one, not everyone, not the whole crowd. And I'm sorry, but ladies, listen to me, please. If you're going to tell one person, make it a female, because you're going to unload. You know you're going to unload. And as soon as you unload on a man, you know you've made your mistake, because you don't unload on a man because he cannot process all that mess you just let go of. And I say mess, and no, it's not a mess. Not to a female friend, okay? A man doesn't do that. He doesn't process like that. And even if he did, honey, that's a lot. Breathe. One, just one person, one truth. It doesn't have to be fixed overnight with unloading on somebody, okay? You don't have to work the whole crowd. Go or not Matt Rife, okay? Just one person who has the emotional maturity to hear it. I'm tired. I need support too. That's not hard to say, y'all. That's not hard. Thank you for your ad, sir. Now, stop apologizing for existing, okay? You do not owe the world a version of you that is slowly dying on the inside. You do not have to be the hero in every story, okay? You do not have to sacrifice yourself to keep the peace. You're allowed and required to exist in this life as a full human being, not a utility. Okay? Do I need to repeat that? Not a utility. Stop being an option. Okay? Now, let's talk about the hardest truth of all. The one you've been dancing around. Okay? If you feel like you've disappeared, it's because nobody has been looking for you. I'm sorry, I know that's harsh. But I'm not saying that out of cruelty or malice or even out of habit, okay? But you taught people that you'll always show up. You taught people that you'll always make it work. And you taught people that you don't need anything. That's one of the hardest realities that you have to come face to face with, is that this is how you taught these people. This is what they expect of you now, because you allowed that and you made that happen, right? But here's the thing you're not remembering for yourself. Here's the thing you're not remembering for yourself, okay? You matter. You matter too. That's the thing that you're forgetting the most about. And that's where your healing will begin, just as soon as you start to remember that you matter too. And not in running away, not in shutting down, but in returning to yourself piece by piece. You have not vanished. You're just buried under years of being everybody else's somebody, right? Anchors are never lost, okay? They're just stuck until someone pulls them up. Now, let's pull you up, okay? Let's bring you back. Let's make space for you again, without guilt, without apology, without fear. You deserve a life where you can hear your own thoughts again. You deserve peace and joy. And you definitely deserve to be visible and present and living part of your own story. Now, you are not fading in the background, okay? We're not letting that happen. You are stepping back into the light. Think about it. Breathe, okay? Just breathe. You got this. You know you got this. All right. So before I head into the final moments today, let me take a second to remind y'all how to stay connected. Okay. Let me get my banners together because you know I got those now. Now, if you've been listening today and you felt something click, if a moment hit home, if a truth landed, if a story reminded you of your own life, and you want to send in a letter for an upcoming AskABee episode, you can do that anytime. Whether it's a funny moment for Bless Your Heart, a heavier one for the gravel road, or something you've just been carrying around with no place to set it down, this is your space. We read them, we honor them, and we walk through them together. Make sure you check out everything happening across the BBTV and Iron Sharpening Iron universe, too. We got daily shows, deep dive conversations, jukebox journey, trivia drops. Man, y'all, I'm telling you, Big Jack is getting me on these trivia questions. Y'all got to go check this mess out. He's getting me. And I thought it was pretty smart. I'm beginning to wonder. Every piece of content, though, that we build is meant to keep you learning and laughing and thinking and growing right along with us. And listen, if you want to rep the brand and support the work we're doing, don't forget to check out the merch as well. Don't forget, I'm going to put that back up here too, because y'all know you got to go check it out. So, every purchase goes right back into building this universe bigger, stronger, and better for all of you. Okay? Stick around, stay tuned, stay connected, because this family right here, we're just getting started. So, as I close this one out today, I want you to carry one thing with you as you step back into your day. The truth isn't always gentle, okay? But it is always freeing. Whether it shows up through a glitch in your morning, Canva, thank you very much. you know, ah, I just, a neighbor with more confidence than qualifications, a letter that sounds a lot like something. It's got to be that, because here we go again. I don't know why it keeps doing this, y'all. Anyway, thank you for spending your time with me today. Your letters, your courage, your honesty, and your presence. I'm going to take it off of there so I can get through this. Are we good now? Why is it doing that? That's silly. Anyway, take what resonated, leave what didn't, okay? And trust that you'll take exactly what you needed from this hour. I trust that. I do. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, same heart, for the next chapter of this wild, beautiful, unpredictable journey we're building together. Until then, go easy on yourself, guys. The world is loud enough. Let your truth be calm. I love you.